IBA Phoenix Fitness 24/7 basketball facility in Rockland, California. It's Bout That Life podcast with your host, Coach C.Collins and Coach MJ.
Get it started. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Hey, welcome to Bout That Life podcast. I'm your host, Coach C.Collins.
Coach MJ, GGT.
And we're here to talk AAU basketball life and everything in between with a little bit of social commentary and some talks about just everything going on in life. Once again, if you're tuning in, thank you, appreciate it. Thank you guys who've been supporting from day one. The subscribers is going up. The audio side, we hit 25,000 downloads, right? So, you know, we've been around a year and some change. So, you know, really appreciate those. I know I have people who come up to me, especially at these AAU basketball tournaments, like, man, we love what you're doing. Keep speaking the truth. And parents are saying they learned something. Mark, I'm sure you hear the same on your end. So, you know, really appreciate you guys out. If you are here and you're checking us out on the audio side or the YouTube side and you're new to it, please feel free, hit that subscribe and like button. Do the HBO special, help a brother out. We really appreciate it. One small click for you is a big help for us. So, episode 42, right? We keep pushing it along, and we got a really, really good guest for you guys. This man is no stranger to cameras, no stranger to microphones, has been on All the Smoke with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson. He's a movie director, a screenwriter, a hooper, a social activist. He is, and also a good friend and mentor who I've met along the way, who's been there to help me from day one, and I'll get into that more and more on the show. But without further ado, let me introduce Deon Taylor.
All right. Welcome to the show.
All right. How you doing, D?
You could have left my claps going like
Oh, you want me? Here you go. I'll bring it back for you. I'm glad you're here, man. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you for having me, man. This is a great show.
No problem. So, you know, before we get into all the meat of the commentary and the questions and things like that, for those who don't know who you are, right, want to give a brief synopsis. Correct me if I'm wrong on anything, right? But you were originally born in Chicago, grew up in Gary, and then moved to Sac, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. High school, Folsom, right?
No,
Florin High School.
Florin High School.
Okay.
Florin High School. When I came here, yeah.
Okay. And then, since then you've been, you know, you played ball, got an opportunity to play some pro ball, and then from there you've been making movies and directing movies, and
man, I wish it was as easy.
Yeah, I know. I'm doing a very quick summary.
I wish it was that easy, man. Like, yeah, you own it. That's it. Exactly how it went.
And well, I really think it's cool because I went to college in Chicago. Mm-hmm. So, and then I also got a chance to play some ball in Gary, Indiana and stuff. So I've seen the area and kind of know.
GI.
You know, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then, so because my school was in Deerfield, Illinois.
Okay.
And then I ended up moving to Humboldt Park and staying in the city and all that. So I got a good feel of the Midwest culture. So it was really cool.
That's good, man. Good. Gary's a different type of place, man, but it's an incredible place. You know, seems like Gary's always putting out some great material in people, and doesn't get a lot of credit, man, just because of the world that has been set in for so long. But yeah, one time for GI, man.
Nice. So, my first question to you, this podcast is mainly geared towards basketball, obviously, but AAU basketball, the culture in which it's growing, because it's clearly growing at a rapid rate. There's new teams all the time, as you see it. Like, everybody's a coach at this point. Everybody's doing either coaching, training, whatnot. What would you say is your overall experience with AAU basketball, whether you played it to watching it? I know your son is starting to slowly but surely get into it because you got him in Hot Shots right now and things like that. What's your overall outlook of the AAU basketball world?
It's interesting, man. Just, you know, I'm a little bit older, and you know, when I played basketball growing up, it wasn't classified as AAU. You know what I mean? Normally you would get on a traveling team, and then you would, you know, obviously travel the country like we did. Now that's kind of like you do that all the time with these teams. the one thing I see is, man, everybody's not a coach.
Yeah.
You know, and everybody's not fit to train kids and fit to have teams, meaning that, you know, when you start dealing with kids at a young age, they're like Play-Doh, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they have to be sculpted and molded, and it's not about just hard work and discipline, you know what I mean? And, you know, do this drill and that drill. A lot of this is mentorship and explaining things and explaining why people are doing things on the court. So I've been able to watch a little bit and be a little bit stingy with my son, just because I played this game for a very long time, my whole life.
Yeah.
And coming out of Gary, basketball is your life. You know what I mean? So I've been able to play with, you know, some of the best, man. Bobby Joyner, you know, coached me before, and, you know, just real people that understood the game and the philosophy of what it is you're trying to do. And then I've also been on the other side of the coin where you got coach, where you're like, man, what do you want me to do? Like, you know, or they're just using kids because they're very athletic.
Yeah.
They could run fast or jump high, and, you know, that's not the game. Yeah. You know, and you find out that if you don't learn the correct steps, it is a very, very fine line between those that are athletic and gifted to jump to the next league versus those that might not have all those tools but know exactly what to do in the game. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Basketball is built on. Let me put it to you this way: they already know who LeBron is, and they already know who Kobe is, right? If you're not already one of them guys, then your job is going to be to figure out how you fit in and what you do on the team. Yep. The Bulls figured that out a very long time ago. The Celtics, you know, with Bill Russell figured it out a long time.
Yep.
Basketball is played by positions and what you do. It's a team sport. Yep. Can you rebound? Can you box out? Can you get an assist? Can you defend? Can you pass the ball? You know what I mean? Can you hit the shot when you open? You know, so a little bit of this is, you know, learning at an early age to do what it is you do best and become really, really great at something. You know what I mean? Not try to be, you know, this dude that do everything. You know what I mean?
Everybody
like,
wants to score, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the energy. Is that when you play hoop, you're like, damn, I want to get 20, I want to get 30. You know what I mean? But when you get a little bit older and you have knowledge, you be like, damn, man, the kid that is getting 4 steals a game and 10, 12 rebounds and 7 assists, that's who they looking at.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yes,
because they know you can score.
Right.
But can you do those things? Can you defend?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because now when you get into the league, it's like even when we watched the playoffs recently, the biggest thing that everyone said about Steph this year is what? He's defending. You know what I mean? So it's like, man, like he can defend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's not what you call a lockdown, but he's a solid defender. He is.
But you could tell as he's gotten older, he understood in that game, in that playoff, this is what I have to do. Yep. You know what I mean? So anyways, yeah, I think the AAU thing is great because it's getting a lot of kids involved. But at the same time, I think for the parents is to always just pay attention. If something doesn't feel right or your kid is not settling right, then you should remove them from that. Because the one thing I do know is early on, if you get a bad coach, it could ruin the experience for you and take the joy away from basketball. You know what I mean? Especially as you start looking at these kids 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. You get the wrong dude yelling and screaming. And,
right.
You know, you get the bad experience. You're like, man, then kids go home and be like, I don't want to play that no more.
Right.
So you don't want that. You don't want to ruin it because the game is so fun, man, and it's fun effortlessly.
Yep.
I agree. Well, you have a unique perspective. You know what I mean? One thing I've always, ever since I've known you, what I commend you on big time is you always try to stay tapped into the community. You know what I mean? I know I always joke because I say you're a ghost. You know what I mean? You're here 1 second, then you're gone the next, right?
Yes.
But when you are here, you are someone who is always trying to say what's up to everybody. You know, I know you got your day one homies like Rodney and all them. Like you always try to, you know, hang out with them and stuff like that because the reality is your schedule's busy. I mean, you got a demanding schedule. You probably fly to L.A. probably like 20 times a week. So, you know, but you've always kept that even till. Where does that come from? Or is that just kind of just you? You know what I mean?
Look, man, I come from a real place. You know, so when most people that I know that come from, you know, real places, they often stay real people. You know what I mean? When you grow up, you know, single family home, trying to figure it out, you know, lights been off, feet on the floor, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, we all know what it is,
Right.
heating your house with the oven. Like, this is a real world.
Right.
So when you get older and you fight through that and you figure out how to get to the other side of it, you understand that that's real life. Like, in other words, you have to be a real person. You have to stay grounded with real people. And you very quickly understand, if you're in the industry I'm in, that a lot of that is not real. You know what I mean? You'll find that people are interested in what it is you can do for them. It's a lot like life, right? Like, can I get something from you? Can I leverage something from you? You know,
Right.
People are your friends when they feel like there's something to it. So a lot of that is, yeah, you have acquaintance and you meet people and you do that, but you know, you kind of keep. I learned a long time ago, like, man, keep your real world together, because that is what's going to ground you when you make a bunch of money, or when you feel like you blowing up and you hot, you know, or whatever that might be. You could be a rapper, a dancer,
Right.
even a ball player. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, I've met a lot of NBA guys, young kids, you know, I won't say no names, of kids that's first round draft picks, and hey man, you gotta, like, their family gotta put a real structure around them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because all of a sudden, man, you go from, you know, poverty and being dope at hoop and not really caring about nothing to worth $15, $20 million overnight.
Now you gotta make life decisions.
Yeah, man. Now all of a sudden you out here and you don't know how to, you know, what who are these people? You know what I mean? And it's the fake love, and it's very hard to see through a lot of this stuff. So a lot of what I try to discipline myself with, man, is just staying grounded, staying around people that I love, staying around family, you know, because as quick as you can get that, it's as quick as it can go away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The one thing that is priceless is your family, man, your mom, your dad, you know, your day one homies that's been there for a long time. And at times, them could go away too. Yeah. You know what I mean? Somebody got the different type of perspective of you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, but if you're fortunate enough, man, to find friends that'll be around you for your, you know, through hoop and through life, and, you know, you probably start out having 20 friends, then you get down to 10 friends.
Yeah.
And then you get a little bit older, you got 5. You know what I mean? Like, and then if you got 5, you're like, damn, we still together. Like, but yeah, that's what life is, man.
Good, man. That's what's up.
One question I wanted to ask you from, you know, a standpoint of, you know, I know you're a family man, and you know, I have 2 kids, I have a wife, and, you know, of course I'm not doing what you're doing, but I understand time. Well, I'm learning time management when it comes to how much time.
He's younger than both of us. Just so you know.
I'm about to be 35 this summer. You know what I'm saying?
It's good.
But you know, having kids, having a wife, knowing that if I want to commit my time on my craft, whether it's watching film or staying up till late at night or early in the morning to train kids, for you, how have you been when it comes to making sure that everything is good at home, but at the same time you still put as much effort, you know, that balance, you know, with work and family, to where both worlds are happy? Right, because for me personally, you know, I feel like I play between that line a lot. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm still young, and again, you know, the wifey has needs, the kids have needs, I also have needs. So how have you been able to keep that balance?
That's a tough question, but it's a great question based on the fact that, you know, I believe you have to be very disciplined in what it is you're doing. You know, it's no different than a guy who, you know, has a kid early on and is trying to still hoop. Yeah. You know, you made that bed, you now have to lay in it. And what does that mean? That means something has to go. If you're serious about what it is you're really trying to do, and you're serious about your family, then that's it. There is no gray area. So what am I saying? I'm saying that kicking it, hanging out, that has to go. That doesn't go. Anything else that takes time away from what it is you're trying to do, that's the discipline. That has to go away completely, because The family can't go away because that's the balance, right? The wife can't go away because that's the balance. But if your family is your family and your wife is your wife, then they also understand this is what you're doing. So now if they see you doing that, they should not have any problems or qualms with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's the other stuff. I see a lot of people like, man, I'm trying to do this and I'm trying to do that. You know, but then on Friday night you hanging out. Saturday you at the club. Sunday you at the beach. You know what I mean? Whatever it is. Monday you trying to kick it over. Like, you can't do all of that. It's a balance, man. So you got to be able to say, yo, I'm really doing this. I'm really in the gym, getting up 1,000 shots, and then I'm at the crib. I'm really up at 6 a.m. working out, and then I'm at work, and then I'm at, you know what I mean? Like, you got to have that thing, man. For me, it's difficult because I had to figure that out. You know, I went from playing basketball. I was very passionate about the game for a very long time. And then I had an idea one day to, like, write a screenplay.
Wow.
Like,
Clearly it worked out a
I had
little
an
bit.
idea. Like, I got an idea. And you know what? All the people say, oh man, what you trying to write? You trying to write a script? Like, what you talking about? You trying to do a podcast? It's always an energy around when you try to do something. The problem that we have with us a lot of times is that we're a lot of energy from our culture is not predicate. It does not lend itself to creativity. And that's a big problem. In other words, if a kid says, I have an idea to be a dancer, we go, you know what I mean? If a kid has an idea like, yo, I want to act, right? I want to model. I want to sing, right? What you mean you want to sing? Like, you have to be able to break through that and not be afraid to jump or to take a chance on yourself or what it is, no matter what anyone says. And once you understand that, once you understand you have to be solid with yourself, those same people, those same naysayers or those same people that giggled and laughed, they'll be the first people buying a ticket, right? But a little bit of this is like, you playing hoop, and I remember I was like, man, I got an idea for a movie. What you mean? You got an idea for a movie? I'm like, man, I got this thing, man. But I never realized, like, my whole being, movies had always been escapism for me. Like, I love film. Like, since growing up, like, we go to the movies, we sneak our food in. Like, I'm that dude in high school that could tell you all the movies and recite the films and
Love that.
Eddie Murphy, whatever,
Love
Chris Rock, whatever the hell it is, you like, you know it. You know what I mean? All the horror movies. And I didn't realize later that would be a calling for me, which brings me back to something else, which I think we were just talking about, which is sometimes, man, like, understand this game is school for you. Everything that I do now in film that makes me great at it or good at it is because of basketball. Everything. Everything that I do in life that I do well is because of basketball. It's interesting, man. Like, he's on fire.
I just had to put that out there.
It's like team.
It's true.
Confidence, fighting through adversity. You lost, but you don't quit. Are you disciplined? Can you listen? Can you sit down when you want to be in the game? Right? Can you not shoot and pass? You know what I mean? Can you rebound and not get 20 points? Like, all those things happen in your brain in the game, and then when you transfer it into real life, you have all those same moments again. You know what I mean? So those moments are everything. That's why basketball is so dope and so fun for young kids to learn. You know what I mean? Like, discipline, man.
More than just the game. It's more than the game.
Oh man, like
game.
I can't hit enough, like, just the ability to just shut up and listen. Just the ability to just pay attention to what's right in front of you. Just to be able to understand that you have to remove yourself and your ego from situations. You think you dope at AAU, you get to college, and now you're not playing your first year. You're not playing your second year. Do you quit? right? Oh man, I'm better than him. Man, I do this. Man, I kill this dude in practice every day. I heard all the stories. You know what I mean? Like, man, he not nowhere but made the coaches love him, right?
Or transfer.
Right, or the transfer portal now.
And that's cool. But what I'm saying is, you see, there's these great stories of kids that took that time, just kept getting better, and they just wait for that one opportunity. And when they get that one opportunity, bam, they there. Exactly. And they show up. You know what I mean?
I love it.
And you gotta be that type of guy, man. You gotta just be ready for when your opportunity. You cannot get mad. You cannot get upset. Now, obviously, if something is completely wrong and chaotic, then yeah, you get out of that situation. But that, man, he playing in front of me, that business, like, sometimes, man, you gotta just bite it and bear it, and then be like, man, as soon as I get the moment, I'm gonna jump out here and do what I need to do. But that thing that we're talking about right now is based on life now. Yes. Because now you get into real life and you're trying to get that job, or you're trying to go out and create that company, and you can't get that loan. Yeah. You know what I mean? Now you like, man, they gave him a loan, they didn't give me a loan. Oh, you know what I mean? Like, no, man, you got to figure out a way around that, and now go figure out how to get your money, to get your thing, to build your thing. You know what I mean? So it all just becomes like sequential in terms of how do you think and what are you doing.
I love that, man. Well, no,
Gems.
Yeah, for real. Then you dropping good knowledge, and people need to hear this. Kids need to hear this. Like, parents need to hear this. So it's a great perspective. I wanted to kind of talk to you about just kind of where you're at in life currently. You know, it's got to be surreal to you at some point. You talk to, because, you know, I watched the episode with you and Matt and Steven Jackson and the
Shout out to Matt Barnes and Stack,
shout out to those guys, man. They set the cornerstone for this one. So I watching and hearing you talk that episode, because I don't want to necessarily want you to mimic everything you're saying, but one thing that kind of stood out to me that you briefly talked about, but I didn't know if maybe you want to talk about it a little more, was just your journey, right? Of, you know, how you got to this point. I mean, at this point, you got, you know, you're friends with celebrities, or, you know, at least, like you said, associates. You can shoot them a text, right? You know, things like that. That's to go from where you were to now being at that point. Was there anything maybe you didn't say on that show that you want to speak on it about now, like, or any tips or anything that you've learned? Or
I just think, look, man, I try to, you know, the me being a filmmaker now is really cool. You know what I mean? Like it's basketball was a freeway that took me to where I am today. And that's why I was just telling you guys earlier, this is a fraternity.
Yeah, it is.
And I don't know if a lot of people understand that, man. Like, I go everywhere in the world, I meet people that, I'm like, you hoop? I hoop, man. Like,
I don't know, man.
Like me, the bond I had with Jamie Foxx is because he hoops.
Nice.
This is real. The bond I have with Tyron Turner is because he hoops. Like, people, it's a world, it's a language. Do you know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
There's nothing like it. So what happens is if you understand and you meet people along the way, you might not make it to the league, but chances are it's going to get you somewhere that you would have probably not gotten if you really treat it right. Yeah. When I was growing up and we were coming out of Gary, I remember the first time we got to travel and, you know, go to Chicago and, you know, go to Atlanta and go. I was like, damn, looking out the window. You know what I mean? Like, I had never been anywhere.
You're right.
Basketball did that. Yep. You know what I mean? Then I got older. You get to high school, and I remember then, you know, going on that trip, like the All-American trip, and then being like, damn, this is crazy, being here, being there, Las Vegas, you know what I mean? That tournament, like, wow, this is Vegas? You know what I mean? Just, it allowed me, and then eventually it gave me, it let me punch a ticket to go overseas. Yeah. I never thought about ever going to Europe or any of that. You know what I mean? So now you're like, damn, I'm hooping. I'm in Germany. I'm in Finland. You know what I mean? Damn, this is what Russia looked like. It did all of that, right? So once you get an opportunity to understand what the game does, it allows you to now, you know, take you to where you. So now as a filmmaker, yeah, it's a great world, man. You know, I get to make movies and think of ideas and be creative and get paid to be creative. but it's a lot of work behind that. It's still
Yeah,
a
of
lot
course.
of discipline, a lot of hard energy that you got to put into this. But yeah, that journey, man, like the journey, it's hard to say this because I talk to a lot of people and they be like, man, I don't want to hear that. And I'm like, all right, I can only tell you what I can tell you, you know what I mean?
Right.
But man, the journey is everything.
Yeah. We talk about that a lot on the show.
Man, some days I lay in my bed, man, I'll be like, damn, you went through that. You know, damn, you went through that, man. Damn, you laid on. Man, I remember laying on the ground, lights off, car getting ready to be repossessed, counting change, bro, like to get gas. This is after I stopped hooping, stopped doing everything. I was trying to just be a filmmaker.
Yeah.
And it was rock bottom. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn. And I remember just laying there being like, how I'm going to do this?
That shit's real.
How I'm going to do this, man? Like, what do I do? You know? And it's interesting, man, because those are the moments that build you.
Yeah.
Those are the
Absolutely.
moments that give you the, you know, that fight that you wake up and you get hungry. And then what happens is when you come out of darkness like that and you start going to get something, it makes me better than you because I'm hungrier than you, right? I want it more than you. So somebody lines up next to me now with a pitch for a movie or idea for a movie, or I go meet an investor to tell them why I need the money to make this film, they can feel it.
Yeah.
Like you could feel it from me, man, because I'm telling you why I want to do it. You know what I mean? I'm telling you why I need it. I'm telling you what it means to me. I'm telling you how much I'm going to give to you versus someone that's never been through that. That's like, yeah, I just would love to have the money in it. Just give me the money. I'll just go ahead. Like, it's different, man. Yeah. It's different. You know what I mean? And that's how we built our company. We built our company off of passion and integrity and energy and, you know, understanding that this is a blessing to be able to do this. It's a blessing, man, to make a film. It's a blessing to be able to bounce a ball.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's a blessing to be on a team, get a uniform, all this stuff. Like, so when I say the journey, I mean, I'm telling people like, man, accept those moments. Yes. You know, those moments are the building blocks for your whole life. And, you know, the hard times, the good times, the laughter, the fun, you know what I mean? But some of the funnest moments I had in my life was when we was the poorest we ever been. And
I feel like we all got those stories.
But you got to get older to understand that.
Right.
You know, I remember like hooping all day and coming to the crib and, you know, you drinking some Kool-Aid and watching
peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, but watching the Bulls play with your homies, you know what I mean? Like that was the funnest, cracking jokes on each other and you know what I mean? Like it was priceless, those moments. Yeah. Then you get older and it gets complicated, you know what I mean? But that journey, man, like understand that it is everything you want. It is the building block and you cannot jump over steps. You cannot jump over steps. You cannot hustle your way to something because it will not work. So if the house is not built on a real foundation, it'll fall. Yeah. So a lot of people try to like jump. They say, okay, I got this faulty foundation. I'm not built on nothing. Then they go get some wood from here and some metal from there and this and that. As soon as the wind blow, the house fall down. You got to build it from the ground up. So you got to get yourself solid. You got to go through whatever you're going to go through. And this is for life. This is not just for hoop. This is like for real. Yeah. You know what I mean? You see, oh, man, I could play in the NBA. I was telling some guys, like this young dude was telling me, I was at this gym one time, and this kid was like jumping out the gym. Man, we was like going up and down, dunking. And I said, man, you could hoop, huh? He was like, man, I'm raw business. And I'm like, well, first of all, you pretty good, right? But I'm like, man, I'm 40 plus and I'm still getting buckets on you. Right? But I said, man, you got to understand the last person on the bench in the NBA is raw.
Yes. Yes.
It looked like that, right? You're not ready for that opportunity. You know why? Because if I really roll the ball out here and you really step on the court with Steph or LeBron, you ain't ready for that heat, man. You didn't do that work. And you got to be honest with yourself. Yes. You look at Steph, I was able to go to 3 of the games, finals. And you good out there, man. Get there hour before the game.
He out there.
And Steph then beat you to the arena. ain't dripping sweat, going through drills before a game that most cats won't do
Hell no.
by themselves on a Saturday.
Hell no.
You know what I mean? You like, yo, I'm looking at this dude like, and I remember seeing the same thing, man. I remember seeing Kobe play and going to a game and seeing Kobe got there an hour and a half before the game and being like, yo, that's like work.
Sweating, hot going
I mean,
hard.
I'm talking about for real, man. Like, so you can only imagine what they doing outside on the summer. You know what I mean? So yeah, you gotta breathe it, live it, eat it, man, and you gotta do that work. So what I'm saying is they built the foundation.
Yes.
That's what they are.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And then they build on top of that. But yeah, that journey is everything, man. So everybody out there listening, that might be tuned into the podcast, that, you know, whoever you are and whatever you're on right now, whatever you're trying to do, just understand, man, you got to be the best version of yourself. And you got to go through the hardship in order to get to the other side. If it was easy, everyone will be doing it.
You're right.
Right?
You're
If
right.
it was easy,
You're right.
everybody would be like, oh, yeah, I'm famous and I did this.
It's
you know?
cliche as hell to say it, but it's very
Hey, man,
accurate.
you got to go do this, man, period.
Well, one thing too, like, and a lot of people don't realize this on the show, and that's one real big reason I kept texting you and pushing you. People don't understand. Y'all don't know how much I harassed this man to finally get his ass to the show, and
man.
the biggest reason I really wanted to, for me, this is me to you, why I really wanted to get you on the show is everything you see. You know, when we walked around the gym and all that stuff, you just don't realize you helped me create that.
Wow.
And I don't know if you remember from years ago. Remember when I was first getting Phoenix Fitness off the ground and I was selling T-shirts?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So, Mark, you know, story time, right? So, you don't know, like, he was one of the first people to buy my shirts, and he bought, like, a bunch of them just to support me.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't even keep the shirts.
Yeah.
He just was like, here, Chris, I'm going to pay for these. You keep these. You can give them to other kids and other people. And people don't understand, me selling those shirts is what helped buy the equipment for Phoenix Fitness,
Wow.
which then evolved into
Here we are.
YBA, Phoenix
That's
Fitness, and what you see
crazy.
right now. And I never really got a chance, in my opinion, to thank you enough for that.
Oh, man.
Because,
That's dope.
like, this is how cool it was. This is how cool he was with me. We were at 24 hour and off of Eureka, you know, hooping like we usually do or whatever in the morning. And the shirts that came in or whatever, and I told him, I said, hey, D, the shirts came in, like, you know, you want to get them? And you were either about to hoop or something. You were like, Chris, just take my ATM and go get the money for this shirt. He gave me his ATM card. I was like, you sure did? He's like, bro, just go. Like, go. And I went to the ATM, pulled out the money for the shirts.
Yeah.
And came back, gave him his card, gave him his receipt because I didn't want to think I took anything. It's like, and he was like, he was like, Chris, just give the shirts to some of your kids. And I mean, he bought like, I want to say like 15 shirts, 15 or something like that, which at the time I think I was selling them, I had to sell them for like $30-$35 a piece. So you know, you do the math, and a lot of that money went towards the equipment I bought for when I first had my first corner in Phoenix Fitness. And then the corner grew into this gym you see in front of you.
Doing it, man. Yeah, so, it's you throw a rock, and it creates a ripple, and the ripple gets bigger, and that's what you're doing and what you guys are doing, man. Is incredible, man. No matter how small you might feel like it is, you're doing it. When a whole bunch of people are sitting on the couch talking about doing it. Man, we gonna start that podcast. You know, man, come on, let's get this started. It was like 8 years past. Like, man, we gonna start that podcast. No, man, go. We gonna open that gym. Man, what you're doing is incredible, man.
Thank you, man.
And it's gonna come at times with a lot of hate. It's gonna come with a lot of animosity.
Yep.
It's gonna come with a lot of jealousy, because when people actually see people trying to realize their dream, sometimes it breeds darkness. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you have to understand, man, when you are, when you're shining, when you are light, darkness battles light. Yeah. So oftentimes you're going to find that you're in these battles. Yeah. with what you're trying to do. You might be like, man, I ain't really got that much, nothing. You know what I mean? I got this on the wall, man. I'm trying to. They don't understand. It's the fact that you're doing it.
Yeah.
And so I just tell you, man, like, keep doing it, man, because this is only the beginning. The podcast's gonna get bigger.
I'm hoping so.
The gyms are gonna get bigger.
Yep.
The league is gonna get bigger, and then now your job needs to become, what is the business side of all of this? Because what often happens with us, a lot of times, is we're first generation anything, and when you're first generation, that means that your mom, your dad, your cousin, you don't know nobody that had no podcast. I don't. You don't know nobody that owned no gym.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't know nobody that was a filmmaker or a director or owned a
Right.
production company. Most times we didn't have people that own a home. So when I say your first time, that means you have to learn how to do this. And when you learn how to do it, it comes with a lot of falling down and getting back up.
Yeah.
It comes with a whole lot of like, damn, don't put your hand in there, that's hot. Because a lot of times what happens, Chris, is for us as black people, black and brown people,
Yeah.
we get one opportunity to do something, and once you lose your money, you're like, ain't doing that no more.
Yeah. Right.
But the realness is you got to do it again, because now you just learn what not to do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So you can't be scared to do it again. Yep. Don't make that mistake, and you'll keep bumping your head. I started this stuff just like you started what you're doing.
Yeah.
Telling people I'm gonna make a film. Got all my friends together. Next thing I know, I was making a movie 17 years ago. And we was like, damn, man, we really shooting a movie. And I remember everybody like, yo, this is crazy. We was on set shooting, and we finished the movie, and I was like, oh, we did it. And then I was like, all right, now what? So now it's like, oh, now you gotta get distribution. What's that? Right? Oh, that's how you go there? Oh, okay. Now you gotta get this. Now you gotta get that. Now you gotta get P&A, print and advertising. What does that mean? That means they gotta give you money to market the movie so people can see it. Otherwise, why'd you make the movie? I'm like, okay, wait.
Right now
It took me 5 movies.
Wow.
It took me 5 films before I figured out, oh, you got to do a 360. So you start going, okay, perfect business is a 360. I take some money, I make a movie, I get the movie distributed, the movie makes money, movie goes to TV, whatever, it comes back, all the money comes back. That's a perfect 360. I did it.
Wow.
Right? Return on investment, everything is back, movie's out. The first 5 movies, I'm oh, you right here. Hey, we almost there. And you just keep doing it, and then all of a sudden you like, damn, dude, you had that one moment where you do the 360 twice.
Nice.
Wow.
And you go like, whoa, how'd that happen? But yeah, man, it took all of that, and now you look back, you go like, wow, man, like you own Meet the Blacks, you own your own franchise, you've made Black and Blue, you've done The Intruder, you've made Fatale, all the stuff is on television, people seeing it, you know what I mean? You're shooting with 50 Cent, you're shooting Power, you do, and all of a sudden people just be
cool
like, wow,
stuff.
this is crazy. And I said, man, but I had to do all of that in order to get to all of this, you know what I mean? And now it's the business of that. So I'm telling you guys, you have to learn the business of all of this, because the other people that you guys are looking at that has the Joe Rogan podcast, and you're looking at the guy that owns the biggest gyms in the Bay Area and all, they know how to do the business of this stuff. Yeah. You know what I mean? So now we have to educate ourselves on first time, unlocking those codes and being like, okay, well, how did you get your podcast to Apple? How did you get your podcast to that? You know what I mean? Who's backing the podcast? Oh, you guys are all part of our iHeartMedia? Oh, okay. You know what I mean? So being able to understand and unpack that is now your next job. Yeah. Because you've already done the hardest part, which is to do it.
Yeah. Because, funny enough, well, the reality, especially even like a podcast, first off, most podcasts fail. Mm-hmm. And secondly, the analytics show, most people quit after like episode 7. Yep. Right? Because they run out of content topics. I'm on episode 42. Yeah, you know what I mean? And it's 42. Like we should say, I know, right? And it was funny because, like I said, it just came from an idea, and I just said, man, because I listen to podcasts at work all the time. When I'm at UPS, I'm always listening. And I was like, man, I think I could do something like this, and I just thought I could do it for AAU because I just feel like there's not enough information out there for,
It's not,
for
and
parents.
it's an underserved market, and this is great. And once people start figuring out how to tap into this, they get information or ask questions, and then you guys now are feeding a need that people have. You know what I mean? So it's huge.
So, got basically one more quick question before we move into the NBA stuff. Your son, he's starting to have that passion, that itch for basketball. Wanted you to say how's that being the basketball dad? How do you like that?
It's great. My son Noah, man. Shout out to Noah. What's up, baby? Shout out to my son Noah, man. He's 8, and it's great, man. You know, and my littlest one is Aiden. I couldn't write it. Like, it's the first time I never understood. Like, I guess I never knew this existed. You know what I mean? It's been incredible, man, to watch my son go from no interest in none of this to, you know, coming home, throwing his backpack down and going in the backyard and shooting for 2 hours. I'm like, this is crazy. You know what I mean? I'm like, this is, and playing NBA 2K and coming to me like, Dad, how do you unlock Jordan? And I'm like, man, what are you doing? Like, who are you? Like, it's great, man. It's a blessing, man. And look, man, kids are incredible, man. And it's one of those situations, like I said, when you start dealing with these young minds, it's important that you scope them the right way, and it's important that you don't impede on their happiness and their energy and their energetic mood to go do what they're doing. You know, when I grew up, I didn't have my dad in my life, and basketball, you know, I remember all my friends, you know, man, we played till the lights, you know, you just out there playing, culture, man. Like, wasn't nobody helping us dribble. Wasn't nobody like, you got to do 3 more of these. You know what I mean? Like, if you do this 50 times, you can. Wasn't nobody doing none of that.
Trainers, all that stuff. No, it didn't exist. Yeah,
just you,
not for us.
Just you, the basket, backside of a school, bunch of bugs, you know what I mean? Whatever the hell it is, a heat, whatever that is, and just you falling in love with the game. Yeah. And that's the first thing. That's the first thing. And I'm going to say that because most of the greatest players, I'm still a gym rat. I'm still in the backyard shooting 200, 300 shots. When I, you know what I mean? As soon as I get outside, I'm still that. I'm still at the 24. I love it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Now, when you push them too early and it becomes a business because you got some kid that's 6'1" and he's 11. Right. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, boy, you got to do this, you got to do that. All of a sudden now, guess what? They don't love it. They just doing it because they can do it. And it's kind of cool, and people are like liking that they're doing it. But then you get to a point to where, that kid might make it to the league and not be good at all because he don't love it. He not working at it. He was gifted and he got to this point. There's thousands of kids like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? That just burnt out. Exactly. So part of it is like at the early age, man, that's why I say like the AAU is great, but as a parent, it's also great to take them out of that and let them just be kids still, man. Let them just go hoop by themselves. Let them play with the kids that ain't in the AAU. You know what I mean? Let them go up and down and just have fun with the game because once they love it, they'll do it.
What I often suggest, even for a lot of my parents, put your kids in other sports. Yep, that's right. Let them be multi-sport athletes. Right. They'll make different friends. They'll work different muscle groups. They'll get that, like, you know, and usually at the younger age, the formula is like, you know, football, basketball, or, you know, track or something like that. But I always tell them, get them in different sports. See how they like it. But I just figured that was cool seeing you being AAU pop.
Well, but you're right because Noah he does football. Yeah. He does karate. He does swim. You know what I mean? He does baseball. So. Yeah, a little bit of me is like, man, go do it all because I was a lock-off player. Like when I grew up, I played basketball, I played football a little bit, but I was like a diehard hoop. Yeah. And I remember getting in high school and playing baseball for a second. And I remember I talked to a scout from the Detroit Tigers. Nice. And he was like, you sure you don't want to play baseball? Because I went out
Right.
and I could throw and I could hit.
Yeah.
And I could run. I was like, man, I don't play no damn baseball, man. And I look back at that now. I'd be
You could have
like,
made a lot of money.
God, dog, man, like, just the ego in the mind turning stuff off.
Right.
What you just said, which is like, man, open up your mind. Like, try different things. You know what I mean? They're giving away $700 million in baseball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
They don't
you
have
can,
salary caps like
no, I mean, and it's the same thing. Like kids that's all isolated in football. You know, they might be in the South or, you know, back east. They're like, oh, I'll just do this. Like, man, like look at other things that you might want to do or can do, and you know, be broad. I feel like if you do that early on, it would allow you to become a filmmaker. It would allow you to become, you know, a real estate mogul, right? Because you wouldn't be afraid to try something different. We are always so locked in it. This is what I am.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I see that a lot with rappers now. I
Oh,
talk to a
yeah,
lot
yeah.
of kids. I'm like, man, I'm a rapper. And I was like, man, that's cool. I'm hearing the music. Like, okay, man, yeah, I'm rapping. And then you get to the point to where you got to be like, yo, you are this age and you still ain't made it rapping, right? So, you know, there comes a time where you got to look in the mirror and you got to be like, okay, if this is not working, then what do I do? Maybe you're a better producer. Maybe you could be a manager. Maybe, you know what I mean? Like, damn, maybe you should open up your own record label, get some people popping that way, and then come around the backside and do your music. You know what I mean? You got to always try to figure out how to, you know, it's like the Matrix, move stuff around. And, you know what I mean? Because if this road ain't working, you can't just keep doing that. You know what I mean? The definition of insanity is to keep doing the same exact thing and expect a different result.
Absolutely.
So sometimes you got to do something completely different. Sometimes you get on the freeway, you driving fast, and somebody on the car right next to you driving fast, you trying to merge over, both of y'all going fast. You know what I do sometimes when I'm doing that? I just go and just hit the brakes in
And
the
let 'em
fast
go.
lane, just go, and then I just get all the way over. Sometimes you got to be that dude. You know what I mean? Like, you know what? You go ahead. I'm gonna get on over here.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
I like
that's
that.
a lot like life.
Well, my last question before we talk NBA. So funny enough, and I was telling Mark about it earlier. One thing I really like about watching what you do, like on your IG and stuff, you do a lot of good mentorship, especially for guys that are aspiring videographers or filmmakers, things like that. Obviously, like our producer, film guy here, Joe, you know him, and then one that I know you're pretty close with that I coached. Funny enough, is Kobe Bird.
Oh yeah, Kobe.
Yeah, Kobe.
What's up, Kobe?
He was on my when he was a Jesuit. He played for my team when he was a sophomore.
Yeah.
The team I had sponsored by Marshawn Lynch.
Okay.
He was on that team.
Oh wow.
And so that's what I'm saying. That's how small of a basketball community this is, because you know, now that I've seen him transition to being a grown man and going his route. And I've seen you kind of mentor and talk to him and help him out. So I just really thought that was a pretty cool thing to point out. You know what I mean? Like the ties of basketball and the mentorship. Like, is that something you actively like want to do more and helping these young brothers?
Yeah, I mean,
and
I think
show
that's,
them.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, man. If I can share it with you, I'm gonna share it with you. Yeah. And you know, it's like we're sitting on this podcast right now. You know, I've said this a bunch of times, but I try to really throw it out there, man, as much as I can. You know, they have told us over and over again, man, it's like, you know, you growing up and I'd had an old cat be like, nigga, the game is to be sold, not told. You know what I mean? Like, damn, okay, I got it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not telling anybody I got nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then when you get older, you be like, damn, man, that's what has hurt our culture.
Yeah.
What's hurt us is no one shares information.
Yep.
No one, you know, everybody scream and get money, but don't nobody tell you how to get money. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So part of this, man, is, you know, when you see somebody that's trying to figure it out, if you know some information, tell them. Information is more valuable than any money I can give you.
True.
If I can tell you, don't do this and do that and watch out for this and watch out for that, it's going to allow you to get all the money versus me giving you some money and then you go do all the wrong stuff and lose it. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you might feel like, no, give me the money. Because I was that dude, like, no, give me the money. But man, I was fortunate enough, man, to, you know, recently in my life, 14 years ago, meet a guy named Robert Smith, who's now is the richest African-American man in the world. Wow. And become very close with him and become friends with him and create a bond and a brotherhood with him. Now, this dude is worth billions and billions of dollars. And
crazy.
It starts with him giving me some money for a film based on the fact that he was like, I really like your passion and your energy and what you're trying to do. I didn't have no credit. I didn't have no resume. I didn't have nothing that the white boys had to, I did this and then I did that and then they gave me this and then I rocked that and none of that. I didn't go to Harvard. I didn't go to USC Film School. I didn't go to New York Film School. It was just me, man.
And a passion.
And this guy gave me an opportunity and believed in me. And had he not taken that chance on me, I don't know what would have happened, right? But he did, and he changed my life. Now, why am I telling you guys about him? Because the money was great, but once I got to know him, the information and the knowledge far exceeded any money he could give me. Him telling me 360 changed my life because I went, oh, you got to do what? Oh, you get it? Oh, you got it, right? Him telling me, figure it out. Why didn't you do it? How come it's like that? No, you messed that up. And you be like, damn, well, I tried to, like, it don't matter, man. Like, look in the mirror. And a lot of that information came from him on the phone. Like, bro, you got to do it this way, man. You can't do that. Nope, you did it wrong. And then you go like, wow, okay. And he allowed me to become what I am now. Wow. You know what I mean? He allowed me to grow into a businessman because there's not a lot of black businessmen because we don't get opportunities, man. We don't get people to invest in us like that. We don't get people to believe in us like that. You know what I mean? And then you watch and you see other people do that past you that don't look like you because they have multiple opportunities.
Right.
Right? So when I see Kobe or I see little Johan, that's my nephew out there. When I see them kids trying to do it, I'm like, nope, you got to do it like this, man. And you got to be efficient when you do something. Don't nobody care that you didn't have money. Don't nobody care that you were shooting and it was 3 o'clock in the morning, you just got off work.
Yeah.
The only thing people care about is the final piece of art that you put out. When this podcast goes up, whether you guys like it or not, it is compared to All the Smoke. It's compared to Club Shay Shay. It's compared to Joe Rogan. Why am I saying that? Because it's a podcast. They don't care if somebody's sitting on there that they think is dope.
Yeah.
They say, why it look like that? Right? Why? How come the sound ain't real good? They don't care about your excuse. They just be like, oh, that one ain't good.
Right.
Yeah.
So part of this, man, is to understand you're competing at the highest level even when you believe you're not.
True.
Right? So for me with film, I have to be like that. I gotta, like, even though my movies are $3 or $4 million, I gotta know that The Intruder is gonna open up against Avengers Endgame.
Oh shit. Yeah, like you said, you're going against the
This
best.
is real.
Yeah.
My $3 million movie opened up against Avengers Endgame, and then it opened up against Seth Rogen and Charlize Theron's movie that was $52 million, and whatever the third film was, that was $47 million. Oh, wow. Now, that opening weekend, what movie was number one? Endgame.
Of course. Right.
What movie was number two? The Intruder.
Wow.
Very cool.
For 14 weeks.
That's crazy. That's so dope.
Because we did the work. Yeah. Whether you like it or not, we did the work. We made a dope film. Didn't nobody ask how much it cost. They just knew Dennis Quaid was crazy as hell. Megan was going nuts, and Michael Ealy was doing, like, they just know what I built. Yeah. Right? So I say that, man, information, but I couldn't make The Intruder if Robert Smith didn't give me the information, and Dennis Quaid didn't sit down with me and explain to me when I'm on set, like, yo, why don't you try this? And I didn't listen to Michael Ealy and Megan Good, and the cinematographer Daniel Pearl didn't say, hey man, last time when I did Texas Chainsaw Massacre in 1972, we did this. This is information, right? That you go, okay, let me scoop that up. So when we talk about our world and you see people like yourself, it's my job to be like, yo, I know how to do this, man. Let me tell you this, and let me give it to you. You can take it or not. Yeah. But the information is massive. So information, Kobe, little Johan, man, proud of them. And there's a whole slew of young kids out here picking up cameras. And like I tell all y'all, man, if you picking up a camera, whatever you shoot, make it hot. Whatever you shoot, don't try to shoot a sci-fi movie for $1,000. Figure out what you could make for $1,000 is gonna be great.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, he does that too. That's he's stepped into that videographer world and making highlights, and his craft has always gotten better and better. That's his side project. So that's big ups, man. Glad to hear that.
Inspiring.
For real. I want to move into hot takes, and let's get right to it. Let's talk the NBA. My Golden State Warriors won the championship.
Congrats.
Told you.
Congrats.
Told you, man.
Congrats.
Shout out to Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Looney, Gary Payton Jr., all these guys, man. Yeah. Very, very happy for him. And I told everybody, please go back on the podcast, go back on the films and listen from day one. I was sitting there telling everybody the Warriors are going back to the finals. Now, what convinced me they were going to win it is once I saw Klay Thompson come back and he was looking pretty, solid, and then Draymond played with a new vigor, and then the unexpectedness of Jordan Poole and Gary Payton Jr. and how they were effective. I was just like, and then Wiggins, his play, I said to everyone, no, we're winning it. Like halfway through the season, I was telling them, no, we're winning it. Like at first I was just like, we're going to go to the finals. We're going to make it there. But then when I saw the way we were playing and gelling, I said, oh, no, we're going to win this. We are actually going to win this. And it's just been a fun ride ever since. So just curious, Mark, Deon, what your guys' thoughts on this
No, man,
Warriors
like I said,
win?
congrats. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You got it for the home team. It was a great series. I had Celtics in 7. Didn't work out. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, when you were talking about Wiggins, I feel like that's not really – if Curry didn't do what he did statistically and the performances, like I feel like Wiggins, he shut down Jason Tatum.
Yes, bro. And that's tough. That's a tough – I mean, Jason Tatum's an amazing
He's gonna be back.
talent.
He's gonna be back,
absolutely.
But Wiggins, he made him work to the point where he was being passive. Yeah. So I feel like as a defender, if you're able to do that to a player, he was first team All NBA this year. Yeah. So, but he is only 24. So if he really on that Kobe stuff, he'll be back. So we'll see. We'll see.
And like you said, you got to go to. I went to one of the finals games. Yeah. I went to the first one and they lost. Ain't that some shit? But but you went to a few. The atmosphere was great. That was my first time at Chase Arena when I went. Yeah. And it just, man, beautiful layout, great just arena atmosphere. But overall, this is a question I got for you guys. Do the Warriors go back again next year? My opinion, yes. But, of course, I'm a super fan.
Yeah, look, man, you got to, like I said, I'm a little bit older. I've been watching the game for a long time, man. Anytime – and you can go do the math at home when you guys get done watching the podcast. When you have a core group, just think about this. The greatest teams of all time, they all have a core group. If you think about, and the core group is able to interchange pieces. You think about the Spurs team.
Oh, yeah.
With Popovich, and then you think about Manu Ginobili, Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, right? Mm-hmm. And then Bowen.
Bruce Bowen, yep.
Remember that? Yeah. They was always interchangeable. They would always be able to bring in this person or that person. The Bulls, same exact thing.
Oh, yeah.
They're interchangeable. Paxson for Kerr.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Randy Brown, Ron Harper. Like, they could change, but once you have that core, man, and Golden State has that core. And as long as they have the core, they could always win a championship. Now, here's what else is crazy. If you're a hooper, I was a high flyer when I played. My whole thing was dunking. And I could shoot the three and I could dunk on your head, right? When I went overseas, dunk, jump high. When you are a high flying guard, your life expectancy at hoop is very, very short.
Because it's like the Derrick Roses and the
When you're right,
Westbrooks
John
and
Morant,
that,
there's not much life there, right? What happens is, but if you could transition, so you look at like Chris Paul, not a high flyer. You look at Steph Curry, not a high flyer, right? When you look at that core of that team, as long as Steph could run around,
right? It's going to be interesting when he hits like 42 because he's still
if
going to be able to catch and shoot a three.
If you just keep putting pieces around him, same with Clay. Now, I don't know. Same with Clay. Now, Draymond is a different animal.
Yeah,
see, a lot of people.
He's an X factor. He definitely is.
Listen, man. Let me tell you something, man. Shout out to Draymond Green, man. I love that dude, man.
And his podcast too. So
Draymond,
Splash him, man.
Draymond is
the Splash Brothers.
I told Draymond. Now, people like I've gotten some arguments over this. Draymond to me is what Rodman was to the Bulls.
Yes.
Now you have
he gets that comparison a lot.
Okay,
absolutely.
now you have to be old enough to have watched the Bulls play. You can't just watch some clips and know.
Yeah.
What Draymond, all those things that does not add up in the box scores or that you don't see is why they win games. This dude is rebounding, screening, you know what I mean? Hedging, battling, fighting, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Getting one more opportunity, you know what I mean? And then on top of that, he is also coaching. You know what I mean? Laying out, trying to do anything he can. You know what I mean? Like when you get God, and guess what? We'll look at the basket and not shoot it. because he knows what his role is.
Yeah.
And when you get people like that, man, that's when you go like, wow, this is a team and he understands exactly what he's supposed to do. You know what I mean? And I just feel like, man, like, look, Wiggins is young. Poole is young. Kabinga is young.
Yeah, he's like 19.
Right? All these guys.
Wiseman didn't even.
And Wiseman's
didn't
not
play
even
yet.
back. That's what I'm saying. When Wiseman comes back,
Well, here's the bigger question, man. What happens if Rudy Gobert goes there? What happens if they get a legit center?
that's
that
always
can-
been like their like.
That's been their Achilles heel.
Yeah.
What if they really get a Rudy, or like what if they really got that, or here's what everyone's kind of starting to talk about. What if LeBron went to Golden State?
I know, right? When everyone,
I know y'all be like, what y'all talking about? I just had
When
this.
is that really
I just told
happening?
my brother, shout out to Ephraim, man. I said, right now, if you just keep watching, you like. Remember, it always starts like this. Am I lying to y'all? It always starts with a meme, and then it starts with a conversation, and then then he says this,
Right.
right? And if you look, all of a sudden now it's in the barbershop. What would you play at? Golden State. Then that was why you say that? Then all of a sudden it's like, well, if they get one player, who they get? LeBron.
Well, Mark says it all the time. Unexpected things happen in the
And then
league.
you just be like, man, what's happening? Next thing you gonna know, that dude gonna be running down the court with a goddamn Golden State uniform on with a headband. Y'all be like, LeBron on Golden State. I hope that don't happen.
But that'd be crazy.
And
I
we
hope that-
we
please,
all
I hope that
we
don't
was all
happen.
talking about that when KD went to the Warriors, or I thought Kawhi was gonna come to the Lakers. He go to the Clippers. So it's like, man, that you don't know what's going on right
You
now.
really don't.
If you KD right now,
you a little salty, a little bit,
He
man,
gonna have to get one.
a little. He has to prove.
Has to
it
be a
now.
motivator now.
I think Steph Curry gets his 5th ring before KD gets a 3rd ring.
I think so, too.
And the issue is it's a core, man.
Yeah.
It's just understanding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
when Shaq played with Kobe.
Yeah.
If they probably could do that again,
Oh man.
they would have probably got 7 rings.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if they just could have figured out.
Egos. Golden State don't got egos.
They
No,
don't.
man.
They don't.
No.
They're
So-
very selfless. And the good part is they get pieces around them. Because again, you take an Andrew Wiggins, who at one point people were calling him a bust
Yeah.
because of how he was in Minnesota. Then you go to a Golden State culture where you can even see in the clips where they show Iguodala mentoring Wiggins. Like, you can definitely tell that organization is big on mentorship and growth. I mean, Gary Payton Jr.'s his journey, his story. I think I'm going to do a little side podcast about that one day, but his story is so amazing. I mean, you think his dad's a clear Hall of Famer. You think his path would be easy. You know what I mean? You would think like, dude, look who your dad is. Like, you don't have to work for this. He was like out. He was scraping just in the G League to get a spot. And now he's a legit role player and a legit go-to fan favorite for Golden State.
Was raw business to me, man. I had seen an article about GP that said that he was on his way out and he had actually went to Golden State to ask could he do the film.
Video coordinator.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but that lets you know his mind.
Yeah.
If you're listening, you know what I mean? Like, that lets you know what someone's mindset is. Like, he had already said, man, if I can't do it this way, can I do it this way?
Yeah.
And that's the people you want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People that, and you can see it on the court, how you play. Man, that dude's a dog, man.
Yeah.
Now you see it.
Yeah, he is.
You know what I mean? But what we talked about in the first 10 minutes of this, opportunity, discipline, waiting for your turn.
Yes.
And he did.
Waiting for your turn.
You
know what I mean? So, yeah, he waited, and guess what? As soon as the opportunity presented itself, what did he do? He was ready, he was in shape, and he showed out. Yeah. And now just what you get.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Period.
Yeah, and champ.
I even saw another little funny stat because, you know, all this stuff comes out because the Warriors won. Looney played every single game.
Wow.
Every single game. He didn't, for real. He played all the season, all the playoffs, every single game. Wow. It's crazy. Because, you know, nowadays with injuries and just everything. It's
and you guys got to know, Looney, you know, he had the hip surgeries.
Yeah.
So the fact that this guy is able to actually be on a basketball court, I was talking to, obviously, I think Draymond about this, and he was just telling me that this guy's, you know, at the arena, you know, 2-3 hours before the games because he has to get his hips and all that worked on and told me straight up, man, he was like, Looney, out of everybody on the team, this guy has never been late to win anything.
He's an Iron Man. He's a true
you know
Iron
what I mean?
Man.
So, yeah, man, that's the discipline and the craftsmanship and the integrity and energy that, you know, we got to have. You know what I mean? And these young kids that might be watching the show or these adults that's trying to figure out what they you got to have that, man. We were talking about with you. Like, how do you split the time? The time is, man, you do what you need to do and you take care of that. Period, man. That's it. There is no gray area. You know what I mean? And then when you get a little bit older, then you might be able to be like, oh, okay, I'm finna relax and do this now. Yeah. But I just know, man, for me, like that 17 years leading up to where I'm at now, bro, it was, you would never see me, still today, you'd be like, if I show up, if you see me in a club, it's like
it's a network. Like, it's a network event. He's networking.
Here, like, man, I'm walking through to get something. Like I'm trying to go over there. But you gotta. It's just gotta be that, man. You know what I mean?
Like I said, he's a ghost, man. Deon's a ghost, bro. But no, okay. So last NBA question before we move on to the closing of the shows and stuff. But what does the rest of the league do now? I mean, it's pretty interesting landscape now. There are a few like Gobert and obviously LeBron. There could be some power moves in the Eastern Conference. That Milwaukee-Boston series to me was really good, but obviously Milwaukee didn't have all the pieces. Middleton. Obviously a huge piece with Middleton. I'm just thinking like, man, no, I don't know. The rest of the NBA, it's going through the Warriors. Either way, all roads is going through the Warriors.
They do all those splits and all that stuff, but I agree. Like, that Warriors team reminds me so much of the Bulls team in terms of like just the front office, in terms of Kerr and the coaching staff. Because now all you got to do is just pieces. Yeah. Look, I truly feel like the reason that Milwaukee was not able to make the jump is because they did not pay PJ Tucker. You got, look, man, all of it matters.
Yeah.
So people might be like, oh, you don't need him because no. Yeah. You needed him, and if you watch the series they lost to the Celtics,
PJ Tucker was a factor.
What?
He was a factor.
What would he have done out there?
For sure.
He gonna hit the corner three.
Right.
Yeah.
He gonna lock up on defense.
Yeah.
He's capable of getting you 15 or 17 if you need it.
Yeah.
Right? But all them loose balls, all them 50-50 balls, right? All that toughness, you lost all that instead of just paying that man a little bit of money and being like, yo, let's run it back with him.
Yeah. Sure.
Right? And then he gave all of that same energy to Miami.
Yeah.
Right?
You're right.
So
And
he gave
and
all that
Miami,
same. Miami
they
just
made
need
it there.
Miami just need a couple more pieces. But
Yeah.
but what I'm saying is I feel like it's now all I'm not going for no hype, man. Look, I'm gonna say this now. I seen the thing on Vegas. It was like the Clippers is plus 800. I'm going like, man, if we keep on, I'm tired of talking about the Clippers, man.
The Clippers don't
I'm
make
tired.
that.
Every time you be like, oh yeah, they got him and they got him. It don't matter, man, because it's the chemistry.
Yeah.
It's
Culture.
the chemistry, man. And that's exactly right. The culture of the team, man.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to New Orleans.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good pick.
Healthy Zion.
I'm looking for that team was raw, man. Like I really liked watching them play, man.
I'm very curious of the Bulls because
Yeah, well-
regular season they were hot, but they didn't show up in playoffs. And then there's one other team I think the
you got
Sixers.
like Memphis? You got like Memphis?
Yeah,
like
Memphis.
Memphis.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I like them, of course, but
Well, the
I'm just
secret-
thinking kind of the teams where they have really interesting storylines. Because of course, James Harden made his proclamation of, I'm gonna come back. Me and the jury's out on that one. Exactly.
I would say that what's going to be crazy is what happens to Bane.
Ooh.
Because
He gonna get paid.
is he going to get paid there or does he go somewhere? Because now, see, it's players like that that's capable of getting 30 a night
Yeah.
that if he ends up on a Golden State,
Yeah.
Oh my God.
can you imagine that dude coming off the bench? See, that's the little things that don't nobody look at.
Right.
Like you
You're
get you put Bane and Poole.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
And that's your
So much
second line.
so
What?
much offensive
That's your
firepower.
second lineup, right? And then you get a center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That,
that's what I'm
like,
saying.
There's pieces like that, man, where you be like, yo, that's crazy.
It's funny that you're saying all that just because, like, what makes Golden State so great besides the players and the coaches is the front office.
Yep.
Is that we don't even know it unless you really know basketball, that Bob Myers and all them are going to make a move like that. We're
Yeah,
like, damn,
right.
I didn't even see that. Like,
Right.
right. They saw the Wiggins and everybody was Wiggins? Like, nah.
Yeah.
But for me, as a Laker fan, you know what I'm saying? I like what Darvin Ham's saying. Everybody just need to be healthy. I still believe in the king. We gonna see. Just let us be healthy. Let me just get through a season healthy.
Was that the right coach?
Darvin Ham?
Yeah.
For me, I feel like, especially when it comes to Westbrook and AD, you need a player coach in there like the Ty Lues, like the Doc Rivers, that they can hold them accountable. I don't think Frank Vogel could do that. So I feel like if Darvin Ham, with his, he won a championship with the Greek Freak in Milwaukee. He's been with Popovich. He's been just like Kerr, been learning from all these big time coaches.
Yeah.
They got to listen to him. I know he don't got the experience,
Right.
but I mean, Kerr did it 1 year. There was another 1 year. The coach from Boston, first year. They all respected him.
I know
Ime
you're talking about. Yeah.
Adoka.
Yeah.
So I feel like Ham has that pedigree. He's been an assistant for a lot of winning teams for a long time. You know what I'm saying? He's been and he's played the game.
I gotta watch. I gotta watch this.
It's
season.
gonna be
man.
some interesting storylines.
Westbrook got to come off the bench, though. That's my thing. He got to come off the bench to lead the second unit.
Right.
AD got to be healthy. We back in it.
That's true.
I think that's a problem over there.
Yeah.
I don't see that working.
With Russ.
Well, hey,
It just doesn't fit. But
who
I will
knows?
also say I think that Darvin Ham is I think that's the jury's out on that. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel
for
like
sure, for sure.
I feel like with that level of organization and players,
Expectations, too.
yeah, it feels like you wanted to go get someone. Okay, I feel like you wanted to go get someone that not only had the experience,
Yeah.
but you wanted to have someone that like
Has that aura, has that respect.
yeah, respect. And so look, Mark Jackson's interesting to me.
Yes.
I thought whatever you might say about Mark Jackson, I thought that Mark Jackson would have been number one, the best coach for Sacramento. And I thought he would have been the best coach for the Lakers. And the reason why is because if you just listen to him, you understand very quickly that he has the gift of gab. Like, in other words, he's done it,
Yeah.
right? Like, in other words, he's played. He's
Right.
Mark Jackson,
Right.
But he just got that swag about him in terms of like, you know, he's willing to fight for it. You know, he's been there before. You know, he's a gritty New York guard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a lot of energy that comes with him that I believe look. He got Golden State there, and then
he set the cornerstone.
he set right
foundation.
now.
Yeah.
He set
He
the
set the
foundation.
foundation,
I
absolutely.
just think that him with LeBron would have been great. I really thought that him with the Kings would have been phenomenal. I'm not sure about what the Kings are doing. I don't know what's wrong with them. I don't know why they keep doing
And
the
that's a
stuff.
whole nother topic.
I don't know why they keep doing the stuff they're doing, man. I don't know who's in there talking, but man, like the mere fact that Bobby Jackson wasn't even on the top 3 list as the head coach for the Sacramento Kings, after you done had this dude be the blue collar guy for the community.
Yeah.
When you have organizations like that, like here in Sacramento, you got to listen to the people.
Yeah.
That's what Memphis has.
Yeah.
That's what New Orleans has.
true.
You know what I mean? That's what the Lakers has built. They built culture around
You're
the
right.
team. Sacramento has completely removed themselves from the culture.
Yeah.
The culture is telling you, we like him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's in the community. He's a dude that took you guys as far as you ever went.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He went and took your D-League team and won a championship, was undefeated.
Respected.
Right? He's respected by all.
Yeah.
He's a hard-nosed, gritty guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
He's a
he
cool
has
brother.
And he has a great philosophy. Like, why would you not give him an opportunity? That's crazy. So I feel like, you know, a lot of this stuff people miss just because they're not paying attention.
Yeah.
You're right.
You know what I mean? So, anyways, I just back to the Lakers.
Next year is going to be interesting. We'll
Yeah,
say
we'll see.
we'll say that. I wanted to talk to you because I always been bringing this up because I always love getting my guest take on this, especially because we played basketball. What are your thoughts on the NIL? Basically, you know, the college guys being able to make
Yeah.
money now. I mean, first off, I'm an advocate for it. I think it's a great thing. You know
It's
what I
great,
mean?
yeah.
Because the NCAA is corrupt as shit. But you know, I was just curious what you thought of it, or you know, if you had any
it's great.
thoughts about
No,
it.
I think it's great, man. Look, the as long as there's some foundation around kids getting money, I think it's fantastic, man. Yeah, when you pull it back and you watch the organizations, these colleges that have made billions of dollars off of you know. But look, man, a little bit of this is like, yeah, they are making that money. But for a long time, man, like, you know, giving kids an opportunity to go to school and get a scholarship was massive.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But now times have changed, and now it's like, you know, a kid now understands, like Zion, you know, or, you know, this kid that's at Duke, you know, very quickly this kid's selling, you know, 200,000-300,000 jerseys, you know, at $60 a pop. Like,
Yeah.
he should be getting. Yeah, it's like that's my name.
You start
on the back
adding,
of
you
that.
start
Yeah,
adding
you
the
start
numbers
looking
up.
at
It's
that,
like,
man.
wow.
Yeah, but that's been happening for a long time. So yeah, I like the idea that I think that it's not completed yet how it's going to be. But I like the idea that, you know, now what happens is when you start stacking the money up like that, now I'm sitting next to you on a team and you got $1 million in your bank account and I don't have $5.
I know.
See, that's the part that becomes very hard when you start talking about college sports now, because college has always been like high school, where it's like, or high school has been like, we both don't have no money. You just hella dope.
And it can,
You know what I mean?
right, and it can become confrontational,
Yep,
or it can
so-
become, you know, jealous and envy and struggle.
So you gotta, so I feel like they have to have some things around that, man, because, you know, if you,
I like that.
what's
take.
the kid,
That's good.
Mikey
Williams, that's the one I was gonna say, because
You
when
gotta-
he steps into college, he's gonna get paid. Because even right now, currently, I
already
think
gets paid.
he has like 4 million followers. And,
Yeah,
you
but
know,
I mean,
all
you
that
got a
stuff.
kid like that, you know, a freshman at your school making $3.5 million a year. It goes back to what we talked about before, which is he a gym rat? Does he love it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And is his head on right?
Yeah.
You know, based on the fact that now what me and you went through in college, when you're trying to get some chicken at KFC, you know what I mean, and trying to sneak in the club. This dude already pulling up in the bins and
Right.
got all the stuff. You know what I mean? It's no different though than baseball players that played in the farm system. They've been getting paid like that for a long time. So when I went to San Diego State, Tony Clark, who's now I think he's like, what is he for baseball for the MLB? He's the
Was like a batting coach or
no, he's the president of players president, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Clark was a basketball player.
Wow, San Diego State.
Yep.
Wow.
Hoop, 6'6", 6'7", back to the basket, get buckets, everything. But he was also at the time signed to the Detroit Tigers. So he was also making like $850 or $1 million a year as a baseball player. So we would be coming to practice and he'd be pulling up in, 700s, Benzes, you know what I mean? You be like, damn, got all the stuff, got massage therapists. You like, dude, who is this dude?
Wow.
So it's no different than what they've been doing for a long time. But I think because of this phone and social and all of that now, you got to just be careful, man, because we don't know, we don't know. And poverty lines are different a little bit now too. So here you are, you come from the inner city and you got a dude next to you making $1 million. And like I said, you don't have no money. So it'd be interesting to see if there's a world where when those players go to those teams and certain things happen, is there a way to kind of help the teams a little bit
That's
too,
true.
or, help those other players with a little bit of capital as well?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's like you said, it isn't set in stone yet. Well, that's why it circles back to my other question, because, you've obviously been able to find good success and make some money. I'm able to make my little money here and everything, but the things we've learned now on how money works, how credit works, how, I'm in like stocks and bonds and little things like that. I'm about creating wealth, right? Creating generational wealth because I want my kids to have something. I feel like, especially for colleges now, they need to put something in place to teach these kids about accounting, economics, investing, good money habits. You know what I'm saying? I think that's something they're going to have to look into because, you got basically, kids anywhere from 17 to 20 years old that are now going to have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. How do we make sure these young brothers don't lose it all or burn it all or, get, God forbid, get hurt in college?
We have to do that.
Yeah.
We have to do that. It's interesting, man, because this is a whole nother conversation, a whole nother podcast.
Yeah.
We have to do that. Like, this is we're past they gotta,
right.
Because what they are doing is they're gonna keep using us.
Mm-hmm.
And what am I saying? Normally, the player comes in, the player gets paid, the player gets the manager, he gets the lawyer, he gets the agent, and then that person, those three people alienate that athlete from all of the friends and the homies and everybody else financially. In other words, they say, give me all the money, give me all the stuff. I'm going to take care of everything for you going forward, and you listen to me on that level. This how much money you should give your mom. This how you take care of your boy. Or your boy want to rap? No, I don't give him no money. Maybe just give him this. What has to happen now is we have to become the people on the other side.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See, what LeBron did was incredible, and it was needed. When he came and Rich Paul and Maverick and
Brought his whole crew.
He gave his friends an opportunity to learn how to be businessmen, or they took it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. In other words, if you were able to, Rich Paul, who I think is incredible, shout out to Rich. Rich was already a smart businessman. Rich was selling throwback jerseys. He was flipping throwback jerseys when they came out, making a bunch of money. He was a hustler.
Yeah.
But LeBron understood what he was. Yeah. LeBron understood what Maverick was, and LeBron was smart enough to give them guys the opportunity to be like, yo, won't y'all do it? You know what I mean? Y'all could learn how to do this stuff too. And they want to do it. Kevin Hart's doing the same thing. There's a lot of groups of people that are like, man, let me trust my folks to jump in here and do what they need to do versus it being the other way. So when we get to like, they got to do this. We got to get to a point to where we got to do it. So guess what? Dad, mom, you need to now go take some classes if you know your son finna be a first-round draft pick.
True.
And your sister need to be educating herself on how does that work? What is that? You know what I mean? How does the agent Football is completely different.
Yeah.
You look at the NFL. My brother was a draft pick. When you look at the NFL, how people are drafted, according to what number you drafted, that's what deal you get.
Yeah.
That ain't that complicated. So if I got my agent license, I could have represented him. Right? You number 47? Okay, then right here, say right there, that's what you get. So what is the agent doing? Now the agent is there to do what? To go hustle you a shoe deal, make sure little perks and things are all in there. Yeah. But the deal is there.
Right.
So what I'm saying is, football is different that way. And basketball's becoming that way too. You seen Kyrie just hired, I think, his mom. Mm-hmm. Like, people now have to start giving people a shot. It's always been this mysterious thing. Like, no, I got to have this guy because he's great because he has. Nah. And then we just keep signing with the same person, and then you end up getting to a David Falk situation where, because he had Michael Jordan, he has everyone. Right? Is David Falk great? Maybe so, yeah, because now he has the tutelage and the knowledge, and he's done it with the highest people in the world. But is he great for you if you was a 5th-round draft pick? No. You know what I mean? Is he going to really call your phone and really take care of you and really or you just signing with Falk Entertainment because you feel like, oh, I'm with the people that did. You know what I mean?
You think it's going to somehow translate into you.
It doesn't work like that at all on no level. So part of, like, you have to build your world to your world. But I hope, man, that we get to a point to where we begin to trust each other and work with each other and give each other opportunities. Because if not, we're going to keep staying in the same place that we've been in for the last 100 years.
All right. Yeah. Well, then, 2 more questions before we get out of here. One, I was just curious, and maybe you can make this make sense, because this is kind of my own curiosity, and I'm just, there's a 2-part question. So for one, from your lens, from your side of things, with the way the internet is and YouTube is and all the creative people out there, like the equipment. I mean, thank goodness for Amazon. You can get a lot of this stuff pretty affordable and everything now. But I'm saying, I always felt like when I was younger, and I'm sure you might have felt the same way because you were in it, there was always gatekeepers to the Hollywood side. You know what I mean? Yeah. And a lot of that's been, I want to say, a lot of it's being teared down because, I mean, I watch a lot of YouTube, period. Like, I watch it probably sometimes more than just general TV. Yeah. And there are some great creators out there. You know what I mean? They create stuff that you look at and you're like, wow, that looks like a film, like a really good, and of course, like you said, are like they're independent short films, things like that. Do you like seeing that? Do you like seeing like that, those walls being broken down and things like that?
Yeah, well, you got to remember, I'm independent.
Yeah.
So you got to remember, everything that I've made has been independent. So that's what I am. Like, I'm a wall kicker down. We kick down walls. That's what Hidden Empire is. We were the people that were told, hell no. We were the people told that that's stupid. We were the people told that, nah, you can't be in this clique. We were the people told that, no, you don't fit with this group. Mm-hmm. We were the people told that, no, you hoop and you wear your hat backwards. I don't think you're a director, right? We were those people.
Right.
So we became the people that said, you know what? You're not the right type of person because film is art.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Right? I'm the culture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I live in this.
Yeah.
I didn't, so we became that. We became driven by like, yo, man, let's go make our own shit and do it and put it out. Nice. We became the people that was like, yo, let's go make the film, and then they won't give us distribution. All right, we'll go put it in the movie theater by ourselves. We were those people.
Wow.
Meet the Blacks was done independently by ourselves and then put in theaters by ourselves to open number 4 in the world.
That's it,
right?
Wow.
Like Traffic, same thing. Like, that's us. Like, man, y'all not gonna let us rock? Okay, cool. We'll figure it out this way. You know what I mean? And we'll keep figuring it out until you be like, oh damn, they pretty good. Why don't y'all come over here with us? And now we don't want to be over there with you. You know what I mean? Because we want to be on the side of the coach. We want to be on the side with them people. We want to be on the side with the people that's like, yo, man, I got it in from the mud. I built it this way. I did it that way. We are the only people that gatekeep ourselves.
Yeah.
Think about that. Like, we the only people that we gatekeepers.
True.
They be talking about this mysterious, like I be watching some of the stuff. Sometimes you go down a YouTube hole, you start seeing the Illuminati, and you be like, it be scaring me. I be like, damn, what is, the kids, they came, and I'm like, man, this is crazy. I don't know none of that. All I know is I want to make a goddamn movie and put it out. And you can have the rest of that. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is, like, man, the when you say gatekeepers, I automatically, my brain goes to, do you know how many black people I've met in the industry that are more locked off than the others?
Wow. That's too
Do you know
bad.
what I mean?
That's crazy. That's
It's what
too
it
bad.
is. Look, it's what people don't want to talk about. We gatekeep ourselves.
That's too bad.
You don't want to give me an opportunity. You know what I mean? Like, or no, you don't want to, you can't jump in my film. But then yet, this great black actor or great black actress, and let me think about, let me see your script. Let me read this one more time.
Right.
You're doing all of that, and then you don't give me the opportunity, but then yet, this white woman with multiple Oscars meet me one time and goes, oh, I love you. I'm getting in that. Whatever it is, tell me where to be.
Nice. That's cool.
what you want, man.
Yeah.
So that's why I always say it's colorless. Like passion and integrity, and you have to find, I'm done with the color.
Yeah.
Like, even with what I do socially, in terms of social justice, you need allies. You can't do this by yourself no more. You know what I mean? This is not a like everybody black stand up and we doing it. No, you need allies. That's why it hasn't worked. Yeah. You need white people. You need Asian people. You need gay people. You need whoever the hell it is. You need people to be like, yo, that ain't right, and I'm rocking with them.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So
right.
so once you understand that, then you understand this is what the business is too. So you got to be like, man, I'm a young black filmmaker. I'm trying to do this independently. I came in like that. Yes, there were several incredible black people that I love. That's my brothers and sisters right now that gave me great opportunities. But there were also so many where I'm like, damn, it's like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, why y'all do that?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
exactly.
Like, really? Like, and then you start seeing it. It's not about black or white. It's about people that just are like-minded.
Yeah.
It's about people that's just like, yo, I like what you're doing. Let me give you a shot. Let me give you an opportunity. Let me explain to you. Let me show you. You know what I mean? And when you get to that world, man, it all just kind of like dissipates, and you only see one thing, which is I only see people that want to help me, and I only see people that don't want to help me.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So you go like, okay, he don't want to help me. I'm not dealing with him. Yep. I don't care if you don't have no arms, and you like, oh yeah, I work at the studio. I'm helping. I'm with him. You know what I mean? So it's just that's the energy, man. So I'm saying this because I want us to get out of the mentality like, yeah, we got to come. Like, no, man, go find people that are willing to help you.
Allies, like you said.
Yeah, go find people that's willing to lay down, man, and help you get to where you need to get to, man. Don't shut off this side because you feel like, oh, it's trying to be that. No, you become that. Once you get on, then you be the person that you couldn't find. Yeah. You know what I mean? Man. So that's what I feel like I'm trying to be too. If you look at any of my movies, man, I try to put everybody in there. You know what I mean?
I saw when I was watching Fatale.
Yeah.
In the bar scene with Hillary Swank.
Yo,
you put I saw that.
Shout out to Johan, man.
Yeah, I hoop with him and all that stuff. And I was like, wait a minute, that's I like that.
I think Yo's been in 5 of my movies. Yes. He's a great actor, by the way, man. He's getting ready to be in this movie Free Agents, which I'm really excited about. But
nice.
Like find people, man, that just want to help you and stay with them. I don't care what color they are. We got to get out of this whole like, man, because we won't do it. We don't unify like that. You know what I mean? We don't rock.
But it's true.
It is, man. It is. And it's just got to be to the point where we got to be like, yo, we have to build that way.
Yeah.
I have to network with people that want to network with me. And then I got to go find people that, from the culture that might be black, that feel like me. And then we create that group. Yeah. But everybody not happy for you.
Yeah.
Everybody not excited for you. Everybody not feeling you. You know what I mean? And we get a lot of that, You know, like just because, like I told you when you started your thing, it's like, man, everybody not finna, you know, rock with you that way, you know? Yeah. It's unfortunate, man. And you know, I'll close with this. Like, right before Nipsey died, you know, we was spending a lot of time together, hanging out, was getting ready to do a film. And I remember just sitting with him, man, and just conversating about community. And him, like me, like, man, I'm independent. And he like, man, I'm trying to do that, I'm doing that. And I'm like, man, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And aligned in so many really cool ways together. And then when you see what happened to him, you know what I mean? And you see it happening over and over and over again. You go, man, what is going on?
I know, right?
You know what I mean? Like how? Like why? Like what? Like how is it that we getting gunned down in our own communities? You know what I mean? And so that's got to stop. And then what else has got to stop is, man, we got to stop with when we see something, you know, happen over here, we march and we yell and we scream and we do all that. But then when we see us do it to us, ain't no conversation.
No, hell no, yeah. I hate that.
This is real, man. Like,
that.
This is real. Like, when we mowing down each other, ain't nobody got nothing to say.
Shit.
You know what I mean? But then when you see a Karen, it's like, oh, man, you can just, like, it's like, man, I get to the point sometimes, man, I don't like that. And I absolutely don't like that. Do you know what I mean? So we got to also say something to our community, man, and we got to start we got to help hold each other accountable. So that's why I said, man, you guys are in a special place because you grabbing the youth. And what the youth don't know is some of them kids that's 8 and 9, they going to end up growing up and being rivals.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah. And your job is to make sure that whatever side of the fence they end up being on, that they could always pull from that time they all played together. Yeah. And instead of them going to fight it out or shoot it out, they be like, damn, I play with him. You know what I mean? Like, man, what's up with you, man?
Right.
And they might find a medium ground somewhere, or somebody on a team might be like, man, we was all teammates before. You know what I mean? Right. So it's just kind of grabbing that back and pulling back those moments that we're losing now because we're forgetting what it is to be human, man. So I didn't mean to get in here and start.
Oh, no, you're fine.
But it's like this
is what we need. This is part of the reason why I put the show, man.
That's a big deal, man. It's like we don't want to see our kids keep killing each other, man. No. And killing. I remember when somebody used to die, you'd be like, damn, somebody died. Like, and you'd be like, damn, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Exactly. Now it's like, damn, he killed 8 people. Like, it's like,
because we're numb to it.
It's too much, man. And that's exactly right. What we can't do is become numb. Right? Because we are the only community that's becoming numb. Yeah. And then we get into, look, I said, I'm going to leave on this, man, because I'll sit here forever.
I only have one more question after this.
I'll sit here forever. Let me just say this. Kids, listen to what I'm telling you. If you ever seen the movie The Matrix, if you haven't seen it, it's a fun movie, the first one. Don't go see the other one. Go watch it. It's about an alternate world. You are living in the Matrix right now. Now, why am I telling you that? Because everything around you is not real. What am I saying? TikTok is not real. Instagram is not real. Facebook is not real. Those lyrics that you listening to in that album is not real. The person that you meeting, that you catching up with, that's got all the new shoes on and the new top on in the car, how did he get it? All of this stuff is fueling you every day, and you turn on the TV to that, you listen to the music to that, you look at the person to that, and before you know it, you living in a fake world, and you feel like you got to get money, you got to get a car, you got to get that chick, you got to do that, the girl got to do that. Man,
I love what you're saying, man.
Unplug.
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to tell my daughter right now, turn it off. Yeah. Sometimes, and maybe I'm reaching somebody out there, sometimes you got to turn it all off for a day or two just so you could hear yourself.
True.
This is a big deal, man, because it just keeps going. You can keep doing that. It won't stop. Have you ever got to the bottom of Instagram?
No.
I haven't. I done had some times. I'm old. I done had some. Look, Devin been doing this 90 minutes. I'm like, damn. You know what I mean? Like,
You're right.
It can get you.
You
right.
don't. You have to unplug, man, and you have to find different things. So, what's the alternate to what I'm telling you? If you go on your page, I try to preach this a little bit to kids. I try to tell my daughter. On your page, go find other things outside of your wheelhouse to put in there because it's an algorithm. So when you're looking at what Uzi Vert did or what Chief Keef did or what Young Thug is locked up with, you looking at, you keep going down that rabbit hole of who in Chicago finna shoot who, and just stop for a second and be like, yo, I'm finna add in here, I love this movie, so I'm finna follow movies. I love alternate music. I love Sade. I'm finna follow people that make music like Sade.
Yeah.
Man, I won't never tell anybody, but I'm interested in design.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go follow a bunch of design outlets. So now, even if you're just doing that, there's something different hitting you, right? You're turning your key slightly away from what they want you to do.
Yeah.
It's a reason why those songs are the top songs in the country. If you flip to the other channel, they're not doing that. If you flip to, there's no rock band talking about killing the other rock band. There's no country music star talking about murdering the other country music star.
Yeah, you're right.
Just trust me on this, man. Like I'd be like, yo, y'all don't see this, right?
But you think differently.
Yeah, but it's our job to let people know that.
I agree. That's
you
why
know that,
that's why
like,
I'm glad you're saying it.
And those blog sites where everybody on there, like, bro, like that, we the only people doing that. Yeah. And y'all opt into it, and you opt into murder, and then at the end of the day, you opt into everything else they doing to us, and then once you keep doing that, it's a wrap. Yeah. And understanding that the other side of this is everything you do, they stealing from you. The way you tie your shoe, the way you move, the way you talk, the way you wear your hair, the way you pull your clothes on, the way you write a dude took a shoe, flipped the Nike sign, stamped the thing on it, and sold them the same Nike shoe for $25,000. You're an artist, man. You're a poet, you know? So I just tell people, man, like, I'm going to end with that, like, man, turn it off sometimes and unplug from the matrix. Stop going down the rabbit hole. Stop talking to people that you know damn well don't have the same integrity and energy as you, right?
I agree.
You got to get out of it, man. So if you 10, 12, 13, 18, 19, whatever it is, sometimes, man, you just got to be like, you know what? I'm cool. I'm unplugging. I'm gone. Yeah.
No, that was great, man. That was great. Mark, did you have anything left? I know.
No, that was cause I like what he's saying because it's true. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you can get caught up, you know what I'm saying, and just being on your phone and looking at stuff that in a way can take you away from really what your purpose is. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of what you see on your phone isn't that, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people get caught up in thinking like this is their identity,
right?
You know, trying to show to people that I'm this person because I got these many followers. I got to follow this blueprint to be this. And at the end of the day, that's not how we were created. That's not why we're in this world. So I loved everything he was saying.
Man, you got to be dope in real life.
Yeah.
You gotta be.
No, I agree. Yeah.
Hey man, I'm dope in real life. Like I'm serious, man. Like that's only goes so far, man. Then you be like, damn, like people, you know, what are you really doing, man? You leaning on the car, you doing? I understand, I get it, man. I think it's cool, man. That look hot, you know what I mean?
Right.
But who are you for real?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we got to teach our kids that, man, because we're the ones that's being influenced by the influence. Yeah. You know, and at the end of the day, man, when everybody else turning Instagram off and now these kids is running banks, flipping the real estate, buying your brand.
Yeah.
Right? The same kids that's your age they get to a point where like, oh, that's interesting. Hey man, you want to sell that? All of a sudden now they buying what you are, and now you still on Instagram doing that, and they didn't flip the brands out of the brand that you done made.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So anyways, man, all right. I'm done.
No problem. And on that note, I want to close the show out. Deon, man, thank you for doing this,
man.
brother. I appreciate it. I want to do a couple quick shout outs before we get out of here. Shout out to Rodney, man. I know you probably gonna check this out. And you still suck as a ref. No, just fuck with Rodney all the time. And shout out to Kobe, man. Kobe Bird, appreciate you. Mark, did you have any quick shout outs?
Oh man, Deon, thank you, man. This is one of our deepest shows, man. So I definitely happy to meet you, and definitely keep inspiring. Keep inspiring.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Again, one more time, appreciate those who've been checking it out, who've been signing up for the Patreon. All that stuff's down in the links. I will have Deon's social media, his IG, on the links as well for the YouTube and the audio. So I definitely highly suggest follow this man, see his journey, support his journey. He's doing great work, as you guys can see on the show. Deon, man, I can't thank you enough for doing this, man. I know, like I said, I know it's been a year in the making, but no, I really love everything you're doing, man. And
Thank you, man.
Again, like, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you, helping me out, man.
You did it, man. You did it.
I've tried,
Congrats, man.
I appreciate you. Everybody out there, be safe. Stay safe, man. Just keep your loved ones close. Tune in for the next show, man. I want to keep bringing good guests to you guys, and we are out.